Okay, so um, once again, thanks everybody for joining, taking time to, be a part of this great cause where we can help each other and help the next generation in many ways, that we can think of. So today we plan to just give you guys a quick overview of what Women in Big Data is all about. For some of you, it might be repeat information, but just for the interest of everybody and people who will be new, we'll cover that a little bit, and then Erica will walk us through the areas of focus and the objectives for 2022, the tracks that we are planning, and the benefits for volunteering. And also we'll have a link for you guys to sign up for being the leaders or ambassadors of the various tracks that we are planning throughout the year. So, this slide probably is new to most of you. And even if not, just looking at this slide will tell you in the past 6 years, the growth Women in Big Data has had, starting from 15 members to over 18,000 members. I just don't know what to say about that. It's just a reinforcement that this was so necessary and it has been so beneficial to so many people that we are now, we have 41 chapters worldwide in multiple countries, almost all continents, I would say. I think now we are in all the continents across all the different countries. So I'm glad to see a lot of you joining here, and this Bay Area chapter being the biggest chapter so far, we all together can work together and make a much bigger impact for each other and women in big data in general. So, just looking at here, we can see what the mission is to cultivate tangible opportunities for women, unlock potential through accessible training, act as a catalyst for advancement with thought leadership promotion, and empower equity allies of any gender with inclusive mentorship programming. So again, our name states Women in Big Data, but again, we are open for anybody who wants to take advantage of what we can offer. To the next slide, just a very quick high-level roadmap of what we are planning. So at present, we have a few workshops and trainings being planned, some of which includes the Level Up Tech and Leadership Skill sessions, and mostly are chapter driven, and some of them are partner funded. And there is a mentorship platform, and Erica and Deborah, a few of the members who are here before me, has been instrumental in putting together an amazing mentorship program. So which, it just creates opportunities for multiple people. And the pilot and development was in 2021 in San Francisco and Russia. And in 2022, there are a few certification programs being planned. And in 2023, the hope is to have a 3-day intensive skills training and network experience. I just cannot wait for that to just, hopefully that will be an in-person one. And just, looking forward for that. In general, this particular meetup that we are having today is more focused on how you can all contribute and be a very important part of our chapter. So that's why we just want to just generally show how we work, how we are. This is a completely volunteer-driven organization and kind of how the structure is. So each chapter has a director, or in some cases there are co-directors. And then within each of the chapters, we also have multiple committees. And which has, committees include the networking, training, mentorship, creating awareness, and the administration group as well. So within the Bay Area chapter also, we are following a very similar structure where the chapter will be co-directed by Erica and myself with the guidance of a lot of other people who have handled this role before, and with our founders' support. And we also are looking forward to support from a lot of you. So that actually takes us to what we are planning for this year, and I hand it over to Erica.
Thanks, Sonia. So, we really have So Deb and I, when we worked on the mentoring program for the Bay Area, we actually, Deb had found some wonderful material by this woman named Susan Colantuono, and I have trouble pronouncing her name when I say it, but she has a way of looking at areas of focus, and it's very similar to some of the stuff that women in big data have been doing. So there's a lot of alignment here. But we want to focus on helping women with their professional or technical skills, because we're in the profession of technology, their interpersonal skills, which are things like management, what people consider soft skills, that type of thing. And then business and strategy skills, which are really important to help you get to the next level and really get beyond middle management. It's those business and strategy skills that carry people forward, which is a lot of the body of research that you would find in the book, No Ceiling, No Walls. And so that's where we want to focus, is these three areas, to make sure that we have a rounded view for the women who are part of our chapter. And then our objectives, though, so how are we going to measure ourselves? We're looking at how do we increase participation in the meetups. And so what Sumya and I both have discussed is that we want to make sure that we have very focused sessions and kind of do one a month. And we'll rotate those around these three areas of focus. So one month you would have a technical one, another an interpersonal, and another business and strategy. And, if you're somebody who's only focused on one of those pies, pieces of pie, then you would be coming, every quarter. So we thought by doing that, it gives people a little bit more excitement and anticipation for getting together with the people that they know at Women in Big Data for that. And we're going to be measuring that attendance with sign up and attendance. And then when we get to the other thing we want to do is really work on building the community. There's been a lot of we've been able to connect through technology, but at the same time, the pandemic has kind of disjointed us in some ways. So it's had both a pro and a con around building community. So we want to get more networking and mentoring opportunities going, and we'll measure that participation and feedback as well. And then the other area, of course, which is always underlying this, is cultivating careers. So that's where we want to make sure that we provide a balanced view of these three areas of focus, and then we'll measure the qualitative feedback that we get for the learning and the application of that from the various members. If you want to go to the next slide, please. So what we would like to do is to break this down into 6 tracks. And what this does is it really gives leadership opportunities for other women to run each of these tracks. And it doesn't have to be women or men to help run these tracks. And so the technical workshops and trainings, that would be once a quarter, where you could design a program that's either going to be hands-on or have a variety of demos from different technologies. So let's say you wanted to look at, different analytics packages on the different clouds. You could have a session like that that's educational and shows people compare and contrast. Or it could be something where you want people to actually be coding and learning something there. So what we're looking at there is, 2 to 3 people, 16 hours a quarter, and also a monthly program meeting with Sumya and myself, where we're all going to be tracking our progress together. And then the next track is around interpersonal workshops. It's going to take the same sort of thing, except about the interpersonal. So, how do I give positive feedback? How do I go get a job? How do I, so it's all those things to kind of manage those parts of it. And once again, we're looking for another 2 to 3 people to do that. And then the third track here is the business and strategy workshops and trainings. And these would be designing how to help people understand what their industry is or what their business is, or how to make sure that they know that the technical work they're doing, what kind of business outcome does that technical work have, and really start to get people thinking on that track as well. And so that's another 2 to 3 people, 16 hours a quarter, plus the monthly program meeting. Now, there was another thing that was started last year by Eliana, which was data contests, and it was a very successful program. And so we're going to be doing that again. This year, Rupa has volunteered to lead that track with Eliana, basically as her, coaching her along. And so, they probably need like another person or two to help. And so there would, and I probably have the time estimate underestimated on this one. So apologies for that. I'll correct that when we post that up, because it's going to be a little bit more intense. And as each of these people come together, we'll have more information for people. Now, then the next one is mentoring. So Deb and myself have been doing the mentoring programs this year. We would like to see if some other people would like to get involved with that as well. And a mentoring program runs over a course of 12 weeks. And it's, at least 40 hours of dedication during those 12 weeks where you're, working with others and things like that. So that's what that track is. And then the last one here is around networking and outreach. So how do we start to set up some networking sessions, maybe once a quarter, and they could be online, maybe mixing the people up, figuring out some fun things to do in small group breakouts. That's what that activity is. And that would be another, 2 to 3 people. Now, what's nice about this is that people can learn new skills. They can really build a community amongst themselves. So if you kind of take like 3 times 6 tracks roughly, we're talking about 20 to 25 people here. And that already then forms a nice core where, we're meeting monthly to see what kind of content we're delivering. We're able to take advantage of the content from the other people, and we're all learning how to put on sessions, how to mentor people. So what we're trying to do is provide a way, Sumya and I want to provide a way for others to have these opportunities, get the credit for those opportunities, and then be able to, take on maybe more responsibility within Women in Big Data. So that's how we're looking at this. Could we just go to the next one? Yeah, I just wanted to go through the benefits of volunteering. You're going to be able to meet new people, not only from the core team point of view, but also the people that you work with to organize events or the people who come to events. You're also going to learn new skills. So maybe there's presentation skills, things like that you want to work on. This is a good opportunity for you to do that. You can, increase your self-confidence and awareness. And then you'll also be teaching people. And whenever you teach people, you actually take it in more strongly. And it helps you with your communication skills and your leadership skills. And you start to build a reputation and a pedigree, because we have a very active network on LinkedIn, and you become, part of that as you're setting up sessions and things like that, with Sumya and I helping you with those. So those are really what we're looking for, are some people to volunteer and work with us as part of the core team and be ambassadors for the Women in Big Data chapter. So I think that was our last slide, right, Sumya? Yeah. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to put a link out in the chat for you guys to, it's a sign up form. If you take a look at it and just think about what you might be interested in. And what we'll do right now is I'm going to stop recording for a moment so that we can take some questions from the audience.